Early childhood educators generally agree that the main things that young children get out of a preschool setting are the so-called soft skills, right? Things like self-regulation, social emotional skills, problem skills, language skills. All of these skills are prerequisites to learning any academic skills. You need to have those skills in place before academics can be learned. Hello, I'm Nicole Dravillas-Fravel, and this is Wildwood Teaching. And today we are revisiting Maslow's hierarchy of needs and how it relates to nature-based education. So we are all familiar with Maslow's pyramid. At the base of the pyramid are basic needs, right? Food, water, shelter, what you need, what the human body needs just to survive. And hopefully all of your children are coming into your program each day with those basic needs having been met at home. And then we have a responsibility in any preschool setting to continue providing those needs for children. And it becomes even more important in a nature-based setting, particularly if you are outside, right? Making sure that children remember to stay hydrated and drink lots of water, making sure that their body temperatures are regulated no matter what the outside temperature or weather might be. And then just above basic needs, that next section of the pyramid are safety needs. And here, I think, again, the school experience is really important to providing a sense of safety for children. And that needs to be in place again before learning can happen. So sure, I'm talking about physical safety. And, in any environment, teachers are responsible for that. And especially in an outdoor wild type environment where you may not have as much control over the environment, we outdoor teachers need to have risk benefit analysis. We need to be scanning the premises to make sure that we are accounting for hazards either by removing them or creating clear boundaries for children, making sure children understand all of the directions, that they can respond quickly to them. They know how to account for their own safety. But for me, safety also refers to emotional safety. And that's going to blend into the third tier of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is a sense of love and belonging. So even though in a play-based nature program, we want to be flexible, we want to be following children's needs, and we want to be open to all those teachable moments that might pop up in nature, because nature is not predictable. We still need to create predictable routines for children that help them feel anchored and safe, because that anchor is what's going to allow them to take risks. We need to help create supportive relationships between teachers and children and among children themselves, so that we have a class that is actively listening to each other's ideas, supporting investigations. Now, of course, without the teacher taking over. And just like tier 2 overlaps tier 3 of love and belonging is going to overlap with the fourth tier of the pyramid, which is self-esteem. So when we treat children with respect and let them know that their ideas have value, when we follow their lead, when we let them explore freely in nature, then we build their confidence. And we're saying that their thoughts and questions are important enough for adults to investigate alongside of them. And then only at the top, very tip of Maslow's hierarchy is self-actualization. Now, it's important to note that Maslow was not really referring to education. So we use his pyramid in education, but Maslow was just talking about human beings. So he really wasn't thinking about academic skills, but I'm going to lump self-actualization and academic skills together because for me, the desire to learn new things, right? To challenge oneself, to be better, that's self-actualization and that's learning. And these are academics, the math, the emergent literacy, the science concepts, seeking to understand the greater world. Now, Maslow built his structure like a pyramid because each tier rests on the one below it. If we want to teach academic skills to children, then we need to make sure that we have created an environment that allows for it by building each level of the pyramid that comes before it, by building those soft skills, making sure that children's basic needs are met, building in self-regulation. Self-regulation relates to safety, right? Do children feel stable, protected? Do they know how to get their needs met? And can they react in appropriate ways to help create an environment that they need to flourish? Moving up in tiers. Do they have the social emotional skills necessary for that community of learners to function? Moving up again, right? Do they have a sense of belonging? Does the environment present the appropriate amount of interest and challenge to build confidence, self-esteem, and problem-solving skills? If the answer to all these questions is yes, then we have those foundations set up to start teaching academics. If we jump to the academics before the foundation is in place, before we have all of the bottom rungs of the pyramid, then we are building the academics on shaky ground. We may think that children are getting it in the moment, only to have things fall apart later in the school year or maybe later in their life, right? So this is, you've heard me talk about the Tennessee preschool project in other videos, right? And where they found that as children went into the upper elementary grades, into middle school, things kind of fell apart. And not only were they having trouble academically, but also having trouble with their behavior, right? Those bottom rungs were not fully in place before we tried to put the academics on top of it. And so for me, nature-based education provides the perfect environment to build all these rungs of the pyramid. So if you're feeling the same way, then I invite you to join our Wild Wisdom and Wonder community to be supported by like-minded early childhood professionals. So in our membership, in addition to having access to a treasure trove of videos about nature-based education, how do we teach emergent literacy, math, and science, as well as how do we build those social emotional skills in preschool. In addition to all of those videos, we meet once each month, and every other month, we do something different. So on every other month, I will teach a workshop. Our next workshop coming up is about teaching math in preschool. And then on the alternating months, we meet as a group to help problem solve. So we decide what are the barriers that our members are facing, and we just meet as a group to talk about, well, here's what I've done, or here's what I've done, or here's what you could do here. And so we get the benefit of each other's ideas, and we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Throughout each month, at the beginning of each week, you'll get a little tip from me kind of to set you on track for what we're talking about that month. So for example, if we're talking about math, you'll get a little tip each week, just a 2-sentence actionable math, that idea that you can implement right away. So please, there's a little link up above my head. There's a link below the video if you want to check us out. Or if you have any questions, please get in touch with me through email, Facebook, Instagram, or comment below this video. And then I will see you here next week for another free episode of Wildwood Teaching. I will see you there.